everyone, welcome back to Pacific Front channel. We finally got the news for the acquisition of two Scorpion Evolved submarines. When delivered, these boats will become one of the most advanced submarines in the region. So, while we're waiting for at least 4 or 5 years, let's take a look at the Indonesian Navy's submarine fleet from era to era, from independence until the present day. Stay tuned. Indonesia has been operating this asset for a long time. In fact, the Indonesian Navy is the oldest submarine operator in Southeast Asia and has been operating continuously since the 60s. They have a fair amount of experience and have tested the peak and lowest points of submarine operations. The Navy submarine journey began in the early 60s when Indonesia was preparing the Tri-Korea operation to retake West Papua from the Dutch. Like other military branches, during that era, the Navy got a lot of Soviet-made assets, including 12 Whiskey-class submarines along with 2 submarine tenders. It entered service in January 1962 and marked the establishment of the Navy Submarine Corps called Korps Hiu Kencana or Golden Shark Corps. They had tasks of anti-shipping, surveillance, and conducting silent raids. At that time, the Whiskey class was considered one of the most advanced submarines and was feared by the West. It was equipped with 2 25mm AA guns, radar, passive sonar, and the most impressive 553mm Side 50 homing torpedoes. Side 50 can track and direct itself to its target based on the target's acoustic and magnetic signatures from 600 to 800 meters, delivering 375 kg of explosives. Arguably, this combination was the best deterrence Indonesia had during the entire conflict. However, this is not the submarine I would want to ride on for a long duration though, because the basic amenities inside this submarine are very minimal. Fresh water was scarce, there was no AC, and worse, not even a toilet. So the crew must work under hot conditions for days or even weeks at a time, with fresh water only for drinks and cooking, and bathing only when they resurface and if it was raining. The boat has a little toilet under the bridge though, with automatic flushing. And what I mean by automatic is washed away by the waves. Not the best working conditions if you ask me. It was only because of the fortitude and sincerity of all the submariners that the Navy submarine fleet became feared in the region. After the regime change and Indonesia was leaning toward the US, the Soviet Union placed a military embargo on Indonesia. It made the Navy submarine fleet slowly start to die due to a lack of spare parts. Cannibalism was the only way to keep some of them operational for a little bit longer. And the last operating Whiskey-class submarine was the KRI Pasopati 410, decommissioned in January 1990. It is now preserved as a museum in Surabaya. To maintain its submarine capability, in the late 70s, Indonesia ordered 2 Type 209 1300 submarines from Germany. Both submarines, named KRI Chakra 401 and KRI Nanggala 402, were commissioned in March and July 1981. Although during that time, the number of submarines operated by the Navy was significantly reduced, Indonesia still maintained submarine dominance in Southeast Asia for a good 20 years. Design-wise, the Chakra class is 100 times better than the Whiskey class. The crew comfort is improved with basic amenities included, can carry more torpedoes, and is equipped with more modern sensors. The Type 209 itself is one of the most commercially successful submarines, with 68 submarines being built for 15 operators. The Type 209 was developed to meet World War II era submarine replacement demand. During that period, only a few Western submarine designs were available for export. Most were large, expensive, difficult to operate, and designed for the Cold War. The Type 209 provided a solution with the combination of size, performance, relative ease of operation for small or inexperienced navies, reasonable price, and economy of operation. This is exactly the submarine that Indonesia is looking for. The price tag was very attractive too in my opinion, with only $50 million per boat in 1977 or $264 million in today's valuation. From 2004 to 2006, KRI Chakra underwent refurbishment by DSME in South Korea, including new batteries, overhauled engine, and modernized combat system. In 2017, DSME won another contract to overhaul KRI Chakra once more. This time, the work would be conducted in the Pitipal facility with the assistance of DSME engineers. However, the pandemic happened, so only virtual assistance was provided. The overhaul finished in February 2022. Meanwhile, for KRI Nanggala, she also underwent refurbishment by DSME in South Korea, which was completed in early 2012. Unfortunately, she was sunk on 21 April 2021. The third type of submarine that the Indonesian Navy operates is the Nagapasa class, also known as the Improved Changbogo submarine. Realizing its remaining submarine fleet is getting older and the region is now filled with more modern boats, Indonesia ordered 3 submarines from the SME worth $1 billion in 2011. At that time, Indonesia was playing catch with other Southeast Asian nations as Singapore, Malaysia, and Vietnam were already operating or ordering their submarine. Under the contract, 2 submarines will be built in South Korea in cooperation with engineers from PT PAL, and the third will be built in Surabaya. The first 2 submarines were launched in March and October 2016 and commissioned in August 2017 and April 2018. Meanwhile, the third boat was launched in 2019 and commissioned in 2021. The Improved Changbogo is an upgraded model of the Changbogo class submarine operated by the Rogue Navy, which is a variant of the German Type 209-1200. It underwent domestic upgrades including hull stretch augmentation from 1200 to 1400 tons and installment of a domestically developed torpedo acoustic countermeasure. Some subsystems equipped in the Nagapasa class include Wärtsilä Elaklopas sonar and flank sonar arrays, Indra Aries LPI low probability of intercept radar, Kongsberg MSI-90U Mark II combat management system, jammer, and decoy. However, just weeks after the first boat was delivered, a problem appeared. The Indonesian defense minister at the time criticized the submarine's underperformance, particularly its electrical supply. I'm not sure if the problem is already fixed for good or not, but I guess this is one of many reasons why in the end, Indonesia refused to continue its Batch 2 submarine acquisition program with the SME they signed in 2019. And the latest submarine the Indonesian Navy will operate in the near future is the Scorpion Evolved submarine. I would never thought of Scorpion as a submarine candidate for the Navy if not because the universe aligned itself to make it happen. Stepping back a bit for a few years, Naval Group just got dumped by Australia to build their submarines. A few days later, the Indonesian ambassador to France visited Naval Group. A comprehensive defense agreement was signed between Indonesia and France, and now Indonesia is confirmed to buy French jets, French radars, and French submarines. The Scorpion Evolved is equipped with the latest generation of combat system SAPTIX, which is also equipped in the French Navy's nuclear submarine. These combat management systems support multi-mission capabilities such as anti-submarine, anti-surface, and land warfare, offering the highest combat capabilities for operators. Meanwhile, the lithium-ion battery allows a higher range of useful energy, a better indiscretion rate, and a reduced charging time. Moreover, automation is also one of Scorpion's selling points. With it, less crew is needed to operate the boat, reducing operating costs. Besides what we already know and discussed, there's no fresh information available at the moment, like when the construction will begin and such. So, while we are waiting, let's hope there are no significant bumps and troubles along the way, and we can see the boats sail and defend Indonesian waters as soon as possible. And that's it for today. 4 types of submarines the Indonesian Navy operates and will operate from the early 60s until the 2020s. What do you think of the Scorpion Evolved submarines? And what weapons do you think it's a must-have for it? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching everyone. I'll see you in the next one.